You did me a real favor clearing all those ghouls out of Moonrise. That old bonebag Ketherick had some fancy junk stashed behind all the cobwebs and piles of gore. Didn't you? Figured we only got the scraps you didn't have the strength to carry. Wish I could tell you. We're stuck out here, but most of the action is beyond Worm's Crossing. Would I try to fool a Sharpie like you? Have a look. I heard you helped a refugee family stay in the home they found. Good for you. As a trader, I'm going to look for a place too.
Oh, hi! If you're here to save me again, I don't really need to be saved right now. Good thing, huh? Bye.
Why don't you protect...
Donations? Do you know advice? The refugees. If you don't have anything to donate, you can get going. I'm gonna let you through because I don't want to take any risks. But you better not be lying.
Nesta let you in? Good. Means you'll be further away from me.
Not sure why you were so keen to get in the barn, but if the manip says so...
I say, terribly decent of you to come over and exchange pleasantries. Oh, folk come, folk go. It's a little dull, to be frank. The room next door has rather reeked of late, though. And that's coming from me.
I hear you've been given permission to be here. Don't disappoint me.
You best not piss away Manip Nestor's good graces. I hear Worm's Rock Prison is rather cold this time of year.
You were right. Explosives. Now give me some room. I need to make sure the rest of these donations are safe. You try and find whoever is responsible for this.
Seems we were patrolling around a powder keg. Glad I didn't get burned up.
Explosives? In toys? How despicable. Hope Lord Gortash gets this stuff sorted out.
Suppose the manip had the right idea letting you poke around. Good job finding those explosives.
Glad Nesta sorted out those trapped toys. Nasty business, that.
Heads will roll for this. This transgression. This injustice. Oh, you poor, naive soul. Let me tell you a story. A perfectly respectable businessman wants to bring his, well, business into this fine city. And what do? They talk some absolute horse bollocks about papers and correct filing procedures and threw me in this slum. I should be loins deep in Shares's caress by now, not waddling about in filth.
Glad to see you. Glad to see anybody, really. It was a lonely road getting here through those abandoned farmlands, and I'm a sociable sort.
Oh, to be fair, for a miserable collection of shabby hovels jam-packed with wretched refugees, this place isn't bad at all.
Don't know how we're gonna get Grunch into the city, wounded as he is. But we have to. We've got to get Grunch into the city, but he's in no shape to travel. I wonder, what if we hit him in a big barrel and nailed it shut? Nah.
Ah! Whatever you need. I can't help you. Even talking is painful right now.
After a quick examination, you conclude that your patient is pretending to be wounded. You wonder why.
Really? This isn't necessary. I'm sure there are other people that need your help more urgently. Shh! Not so loud. If those lads find out I'm faking, they might go off on their own. They're not ready for that. And frankly, I'd miss them. I don't really have any other friends. And I like those lads. So I think I'll stick around a while more.
Can't stand her, can't stand her, can't stand her! My sister-in-law. All law and no sister.
Actually got here safely, towing along my wife's sister and mother. Or maybe they towed me along, eh?
God, camping with the mother-in-law has been utter hell. Maybe I should just go on ahead into the city without her. Scouting, like.
My son Garen is pleased we got this far together. But his wife's bitching is making me old before my time. Why can't he tell her to put a sock in it?
Washing my pits, this is the song when up. Aye! Could a bloke not get any bleeding privacy around here? Bunch of perverts, the lot of you.
What a sad situation. The once proud tieflings of Elturel, reduced to beggars.
We made it alive to Baldur's Gate. Almost, anyway. But I can't complain. When I look at Bex and realize she's safe, it's hard not to weep from joy.
We made it through hell, twice. I know now that as long as Dennis and I stick together, we can do anything.
So, you survived. That's more than many of my kin can say. It's mainly anger that keeps me going. Zevlor was supposed to lead us, but he froze when we needed him most. I haven't seen him since the massacre on the road, which is lucky for him.
They got me signed up to learn to make pots, which is dumb. I'd rather learn how to kill cultists. And I bet you'd back me up on that.
I'm really worried about Umi.
Hail, friend. Fine day, isn't it? Forgive me, you're in no mood to talk about the weather. Your journey here was a hard one, no doubt. Is this your first time in Baldur's Gate? It's a fine city, isn't it? No better place to hail from. Used to be you'd arrive knowing you'd a full belly and a warm bed waiting for you. Not anymore. These days, there's barely enough to go around. Add the refugees on top and, well, folk aren't feeling too generous. I've been asking myself the same question. I wouldn't be the first to interfere. Some well-to-dos in the city donated enough to see the newcomers right for the time being. Only they didn't bother helping everyone else. Locals going without while strangers feast. It stoked the fire, all right. Some Baldurians are kicking up a fuss round the front of the barn as we speak. If I wasn't wearing this uniform, I'd walk round there and teach them a lesson they'd never forget. What peace. If no one steps in, there'll be bodies piled high in the streets before long. Those refugees have been leeching on our city for too long. If we don't show them that we mean business, they'll bleed us dry. We need to march round the front and kill every last one of them. Let's see them eat our food with their guts on the floor. What do you say? Tell them! I'll cut out their eyes and make them watch!
Look at it. Come crawling home, hands stained with the Bone Lord's soot. And you carry his stone. Have you lost your nerve, my blood-starved sibling? Oh, did I mangle your skull too terribly? I could end it now. But I'll be patient. Father will see us together again. He will see you bleed.
No, I'm afraid I must insist you do not pet the hound.
My love, you can't keep being so rude to strangers. It's just a dog.
All the grabbing and touching startles poor Biscotti. I will not apologise for caring about my boy. Isn't he just? I'm so very glad they let animals in the camp. Means Biscotti can be kept away from that awful war.
Oh, yes. As long as the dog is okay, he's happy. Give me strength.
If you've never had a hound yourself, I'd highly recommend it. Does wonders to distract from this horrible absolute business.
I apologise for my husband and his obsession with that bloody dog.
What was that, my dear?
Nothing, darling.
Oh, God! Are they going to see it? What happens if they don't see it? Yes! Oh, goodness, yes! I am a good dog! Fantastic stuff! Oh, yes, you're lovely. You can come back.
We got here first, friend. You're welcome to whatever scraps we leave behind.
If you're here to fill an empty stomach, look elsewhere. Folks swarmed what little was had, stuffing their pockets. Bloody animals.
Back off! I found these apples first.
Fine day for it, eh? Got to enjoy things while they last, I suppose.
Can I help you? This is a private picnic.
Rechtei hathran rust. Frey valdisk durovna. Frey vald iskablast.
You recognize the funeral rites of the Gur people, the same monster hunters you met in the Hag Swamp. Their leader is burning the possessions of those who have fallen.
Im orak. Nete. Krasin. Netra. So, the impossible spawn walks among us in the blazing sun. We have been looking for you. The last time your friend came to our camp, he stole our children, our future. When we sent Gandrel after you, we wanted to interrogate you, to discover how to save our children and then destroy you. But things have changed. You have changed. Is it true you left your master? That you broke the spell that binds you to him?
Well, I mean, kind of. It's a long story, honestly.
Free. Not while his master still lives. But he has perhaps earned a second chance. We have tried to save our children once already, attacking Khazad-dûr's palace at first light. Even then, it was too well defended. But if his own spawn approached, someone he thought he could control, he would throw his doors open and welcome you in. And once inside, you could do what we could not. You could save the children you damned.
You don't know Khazad-dûr like I do. He's merciless.
You want me to march into the lion's den and save your children? But I promise you, they're already dead. I spent 200 years bringing him victims. Each and every one was whisked away to be fed on that night.
But you never saw him feed yourself. He could keep prisoners for days before killing them. If our children are truly gone, then we ask for blood. I know you can understand that, Spawn.
I suppose. Yes. Yes. Revenge, I can do.
Thank you. From me and all my people. If you can do this, we will be in your debt. You have lived a life of violence and sin. You have stolen lives, broken families, and caused immeasurable grief. Doing this will not right those wrongs.
If you're trying to encourage me, you're failing abysmally.
But it will be a start. You may still be redeemed. Please go. Time is short, but we will see you again when it is done.
It is good to have you with us. There is something rotten at the heart of this city, and it needs purging.
We are begging help from you, an outsider. I would follow Ulmer to the hills and back, but this does not feel right.
To lose our children is a tragedy. To fail so utterly in saving them is something else entirely. Ulmer insists the tribe is not cursed, but I have my doubts.
I pray you will succeed where we failed.
Exterminate every last vampire parasite.
No screaming children. No laughter. No scolding words. There is only silence and pain.
Our dead fought well. They died well. I hope I can live up to their example.
Hi. It's me, Yenna. You remember me, right? You were really nice to me before, and, my mum hasn't come back yet. She might come later. I don't think she's coming. Could we maybe stay here?
What harm? She's little, won't take up much space, or make much of a dent in our provisions.
Yes! You've got a fire and everything. I can cook really good. Whatever you want. Thank you, thank you. I brought my own paring knife. Now I just need some ingredients, and I'm gonna make something really good, I promise.
I'm just a cat. But please, talk to Yenna. Why are you so nosy? Nothing good, I don't think. She was so very sick. Maybe she made like a cat and went off to spend her last life. Yenna is my best friend. She's kind. Help her, not me. Please don't.
So Bal's chosen is a doppelganger. I should not be surprised. They have ever been among his favorite servants. Orin is testing you. Either she thinks herself a predator, playing with her food, or she fears what you might do. She spoke to you in a rather familiar fashion. More shapeshifter mind games, I suppose.
Shape-shifting monstrosities of unknown origin. Doppelgangers are unnatural predators. Their latent empathic abilities helping them to know, imitate, and eventually replace their prey.
This all begins to ring a little too familiar for my liking. The last time I fought doppelgangers, the Balspawn Sarevok was using them to subvert the city government, aid his rise to power. But Orin, he's more predator than politician, I think. She simply wants to make us feel hunted, isolated. Tell the Lordling that Orin is watching. Seems that Gortash and Orin have had a little falling out. We should leverage that. You think me lonely? In truth, I prefer travel in a small pack such as this. Unburdened by numbers, we're free to act rather than react. A little like the old days. With allies every bit as peculiar. Give or take a few tadpoles. Would you? In time, then. Perhaps once you found a rocking chair for me to doze off in.
Fucking shapeshifter. She'll try to break our best asset, our trust. Fortunately, she's no match for our second best asset, me.
Orin, Skra, burn away the shadows she hides in, tear off her mask, and you'd reveal her for what she is, a shivering child.
I have battled great evils, been mocked by villains of all sorts. But Orin, she is beyond even Thorm. Her mind is twisted beyond recognition. What is she capable of? And where will she strike next? Baldur's Gate is where I first raised a glass in toast at the tender age of 14 and got so tipsy from wine, I puked in Dillard Portier's bushes. It's where the flaming fist chased me after I'd stolen a peach from a cart in the Wide. I got a good chewing out over it too. It's where my father taught me to hold a rapier, to read books of law, to know right from wrong. It's been 7 years since I left. It's no paradise, but it's home, and it's worth saving. And you? The city's yours too, after all. How's it feel to be back? Wonderful, isn't it? Torril's history is written within our city's walls. Expeditions to the continent of Mastika gather in the harbor. The Church of Gon displays its most priceless treasures in the High House of Wonders. Voices raised in song on returning day. The heady wines at the Elf Song. There's truly no place like Baldur's Gate.
It's not enough. We have a gallery of villains to look out for, but now we could be infiltrated by a shape changer? I can't even tell if any of you are acting strange because you've been replaced, or because this group is full of weirdos. I won't lie. The thought hardly fills me with glee. Even with my newfound advantages, he's still an incredibly powerful vampire. But he's arrogant, too. If he does hear I'm back, he'll try to take me and expose himself in the process. Then I'll be able to strike. something of a gamble, true, but if I can win, if I can beat him, it would be worth any risk. So yes, I do worry about facing him. But if we can get his attention, finding the ritual's location will be much easier, and that could give me the edge I need.
Orin's little display was just intended to rattle us. We mustn't let her succeed, but need to stay alert all the same. Then that's where we need to go. My parents are in there somewhere.
Keeping very well, I hope? Look after my angel, of course. She's been through more than I can bear to think about. 100 years in the Shadowfell. 100 years being murdered by Sharans over and over. It fills me with a rage I can hardly contain. She's a formidable woman, my Aelin. But no one could escape such horrors unscathed. She's in my hands now, and I intend to help her through whatever's to come. We'll both of us stand by you when the time comes to put down the horror that threatens this city. We are your allies, for life.
That foul shapeshifter Orin is like a scavenger beast, probing us for weaknesses. Do not let her shake your resolve. I have. He speaks to me during my nightly meditations. He is well, and Oliver also. At times they are one, and at others they divide. Easier for playing, perhaps. And the land thrives also. I doubt you would recognize it. Perhaps one day, you and I can both return and see it for ourselves.
Orin toys with us where she could destroy us. Whatever her motivations, I hope she reveals them quickly.
Naughty, 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 little master. You have disobeyed your father's wishes one time too many. For she who fights with monsters should look to it that she herself becomes a monster. When you gaze long into the abyss also gazes into you. Another will embrace what you have rejected, and that other will be your death. But your father loves you dearly. You may reinherit yourself yet. Slaughter your line. Become the last of your name. Lord Baal shall have but one chosen.
Memories flood back, snatches of your story written in the blood of 1,000 victims. Years spent in worship of Baal, leading his savage congregation in prayer, sacrifice, and slaughter. You were their master, and he was yours. A cruel master, a dread lord, a devoted father. All is as you feared. You are a spawn of Baal, his heir, his scion. And yet, you know you will never be free of your urge if you don't confront your past. You are not the last of your name. Not yet. There is another. The abomination wrapped in flesh you saw in the colony. Orin, it's time for a family reunion. But be wary of your confessors. Will friend turn to foe knowing what you are.